What's up, guys? Dubb the O-line Guru here. First YouTube video. Thank you for tuning in with me. Let me just give you a little background on myself before we get into the main topic for the day. So my name is Dubb. I went to Dorman High School. I played tackle my whole senior year of high school. Had a really good season. Got a bunch of accolades. Gave up no sacks my senior year. Was able to go to Charleston Southern University. I played there from 14 through the 2018 season. I played center and guard. We ran the option in high school out of a spread formation, and we also ran the spread offense in high school. So I was able to get a taste of both worlds, and I know all different type of schemes and formations and things of that nature and ways to attack the defense. So that's just a little bit of background for me. I know how to play all five of the positions on the offensive line. So that's just a little bit of insight and background for me before I go into the main topic. So, main topic for the day is before I get into that, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Please leave comments. Let me know. Football season coming up here. I'm going to do game breakdowns. I'm going to be doing player breakdowns. I'm going to be doing your favorite games for that week. I'm going to be doing all type of content coming to you. Just let me know in the comments who you would like to see, who you would like for me to break down, and then we go ahead and get to it there. Just make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. All right, main topic for the day. Why does the Philadelphia Eagles have the best offensive line going into the 2023 season? Well, let's just go ahead and start off from a personnel standpoint. I'm going to go ahead and go down a list of players from right tackle to left tackle and just kind of explain some of the personnel people that they have. Starting off at right tackle, they have Lane Johnson, 6'6", 315 to 325, somewhere around there. Played 9 seasons, working on his 10th right here coming up in 2022. 3-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champion. Phenomenal offensive lineman. Plays very, very well in pass pro. He's also a great run blocker, gets to the second level. He's very athletic. I think he's one of the most fundamentally sound offensive linemen in the game right now. He's a phenomenal right tackle. A lot of people would say he's the best in the game. Coming next year at right guard be Isaac Samwalu. We know Brandon Brooks was there for the last couple of years before that. Brandon Brooks was a phenomenal right guard. He was an All-Pro as well. Philadelphia Eagles will truly miss him, but Isaac Samwalu is also still coming in. He was part of the Super Bowl team himself. Isaac is 6'4", about 300 pounds. He's maybe a little bit more. He's a 1-time Super Bowl champ. He was part of that 2017 Philadelphia Eagles team. He's been in the league for 6 years. He's working on his 7th. Very, very smart ball player. He can play on either side of the ball. He can play a good amount of positions as well. He's been a great utility piece for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know he'll have no problem stepping in at right guard for Brandon Brooks. We'll be right fine right there. At center is Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce is about 6'2". It says 6'3" right here, but I think he's 6'2", 6'3". 295, maybe 290. 1-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time Pro Bowl, 1st-time All-Pro, and this is his 11th year. He's going into year 12, he played 11 seasons. He's working on year 12 coming into it right now in the next couple of days. What can I say about Jason Kelce? I mean, there's so much to say about him. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Lane Johnson possibly as well, but Jason Kelce's for sure. Most likely will be a Hall of Famer. Looking like going into his last season. Hopefully he can end it on a really good note. He's very explosive, one of the most explosive centers in the NFL. He plays with terrific pad level. His first step is one of the best in the game. He's a second and third level magnet. He's a very smart football player. He plays with tremendous effort. I can go on days and days about Jason Kelce. I'm sure I'll be doing plenty of breakdowns of him during the season. But just make sure you guys stay tuned in. I'm going to just keep on going. Next person I have here is Landon Dickerson. This will be his 2nd season coming up. He was a guy from Alabama. He was a center. I believe he had a few injuries coming in, but he was able to play last season. He played left guard. Phenomenal player. Played really well. A few people was worried about him going from center to left guard. How would he do, and whether he would go back to center. Now with Cam Jurgens, with them drafting Cam Jurgens, we know that he's probably most likely staying at guard. With him and Mulata, they should cause a lot of trouble right there. Him being at left guard, he's an earth mover, very, very physical guy. Big guy, he's 6'6", 330. Very strong Alabama offensive lineman. He's looking to have a very big year next year, possible Pro Bowl candidate. You can quote me on that. He has Pro Bowl potential for sure. It kind of depends on how Philly does, how the run game, how he does in pass pro. but he's a phenomenal run blocker. He's really good at pass pro. He has a Pro Bowl potential for sure. And one of my favorite guys in the NFL right now, Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata, man, 6'8", 360, maybe a little bit lighter than that now, maybe, but he's a big guy. He comes from a rugby background. I believe they had drafted him, I believe, in 2018. First 2 years, he really didn't see no burn like that. That was his first time ever playing football. So Stoutland really had to do some work with him. This has been one of the Stoutland projects, and it turned out phenomenal for him. Coming into this season, he's going to be the starting left tackle for us again. It looks like he has Pro Bowl and All-Pro potential, much like Landon Dickerson. He's also an earth mover. He's longer. He's good in pass pro. He needs to be a little bit more consistent. You can tell schematically some plays and certain checks that needs to be done. All the time he doesn't quite get there because he's still newer in football. He's only played a couple of years. You see what I'm saying? Because he comes from rugby. So with Coach Stoutland still trying to teach football to him, you can tell certain things he still mess up on. He just needs to be a little bit more consistent. But if we're talking about talent, he's one of the most talented offensive linemen in the NFL. And that is for sure. And the leaps and bounds he has made, he might have a Pro Bowl All-Pro year this year as well. So make sure you just look out for Jordan Mailata as well. That right there is a starting five. As for some depth pieces, they also got Andre Dillard, which is a phenomenal offensive lineman. When they drafted him, he kind of reminded me of Lane Johnson. Very fundamentally sound, great pass pro, know how to set according to the defensive end alignment. Good in the run block as well. Maybe could be a little bit, I'm not going to say more aggressive, but people don't realize how good of a run blocker he is because he's so fundamentally sound. He's not quite the earth mover like Jordan Mailata or Dickerson. His game resembles Lane Johnson a little bit, I would say. The play styles kind of resemble each other to me. And also Cam Jurgens. I think Cam Jurgens was the best offensive lineman in the draft last year. He's a wonderful, wonderful center, as you can see in the preseason. I will be doing breakdowns of him probably in the future as well, or maybe some of his preseason film, just to go ahead and give an in-depth of what's to look to come after Jason Kelce. Cam Jurgens is phenomenal, man. Great get-off. Reminds you a good bit of Jason Kelce. I'm sure Jeff Stoutland is going to truly mold him and do everything in his power to get him up to speed for next season. Excuse me. All right. As for another reason, let's go ahead and get into the offensive line coach, Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland is one of the best offensive line coaches in the world. He's very, very, very well experienced. One of the main reasons I feel like he's so good at his job because he used to, I believe he coached linebackers as well before in the past. He used to coach linebackers at his old college, which he coached at Southern Connecticut, I believe. He started at Southern Connecticut. He started as a linebacker coach, and then he went to Syracuse as a GA, came back to Southern Connecticut as an offensive coordinator. Then he went to Cornell, and then that's when he started as an O-line coach. And then after he left from Cornell, he ended up going to Michigan State. And after Michigan State, he went to Miami. And then after Miami, he went to Bama with Saban. And after Bama, he went to Philadelphia with Chip Kelly. And then after that, Doug Peterson still kept him. And then now he's with Nick Sirianni. So he has a long history of offensive line work. So I believe him starting off as a linebacker coach and coaching up them backers, he's able from an offensive line point of view and perspective to understand where the guys need to be, the linebackers want to be, and prevent them from getting there. Jeff Stoutland is an amazing, amazing teacher. He's known for developing plenty of players. Jason Kelce, he pretty much developed. Lane Johnson, he pretty much developed as well. Jordan Mailata, he's doing a fantastic job with him. Leonard Dickerson, as you can see. Also, Jeff Stoutland has been known to be able to rotate players and constantly find players and develop them for the season. We've had guys in the past that's no longer there that had to plug and play in important moments and was able to do that. Andre Dillard is another good plug and play guy that we currently have. Isaac Sayamalu is a good plug and play guy that we've been able to have. And also guys in the past like Jason Peters, when he first came, that he also was able to help some and further their career. So Jeff Stoutland has a long track record or resume of being a phenomenal offensive line coach, especially dating all the way back to the 90s. And then you can come in all the way when he did with Nick Saban and won a couple of national championships there. And then won the Super Bowl with Philly. Not many people have both of them. So that right there, that just gives you the lineup for Philadelphia and a little background history on the offensive line coach / run game coordinator Jeff Stoutland for Philadelphia Eagles. Also, what are some things specifically that the Philadelphia Eagles do very, very well that makes them the best offensive line coming into 2022? One of the first things that pop out to me on film is the double teams. The way they approach their double teams, they do it more consistently and at a higher level than most other NFL teams. A lot of times with offensive linemen, we struggle with approaching the defensive lineman on a double team at the right place and at the right time. Philly, I know they probably work on double teams every day. Most offensive linemen work on double teams every day. It's one of the hardest things to master, to do it time right and put the defensive lineman at the correct spot. A lot of times we're trying to get movement off the ball. So in order for that, you got to approach it the right way. So let's say if Jason Kelce's right here, and let's say the left guard, Leonard Dickerson, is beside him, and let's say they have let's say it's a 2-eye, and they got to work to that backside backer or to that front side backer. Let's say they got to work to that front side backer. What it is, Leonard Dickerson might put the 2-eye on his inside shoulder, leaving that outside shoulder of the 2-eye there for Jason Kelce to come along and give him some room to put his head in that crease so they can be shoulder to shoulder and hip to hip. You see what I'm saying? So basically what it would look like Leonard Dickerson and Kelce coming together to be one, to move the defensive lineman back towards that backer. They do that at a better level than a lot of people. That is one of the hardest things to do, to get that chemistry between the offensive linemen, to get movement on the double teams. If you come at different points, the defensive lineman might split the double team. And also, if y'all don't get enough movement, you might not ever get to come off to get to the backer, and the backer can shoot the gap and make a play. So the best thing to do is make sure you're able to attack that D lineman and get good placement, good hat placement, and be shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, while still having your eyes up looking for them backers. And they do that at a very high level, especially with them running inside zone and things of that nature. Double teams are a requirement for them. And like most offensive line coaches, they're trying to get double teams. So with Jeff Stoutland designing these plays, he's looking for double teams, and they're really good at it. They're really, really good at it. They're better than most. Another thing that separates them from the bunch is their pass pro. They pass off games and twists just as good as anybody else. They have a center running the show in Jason Kelce that's able to pick up the blitz and see the different safety rolling and different alignments of the secondary to maybe predict the blitz coming and different stunts coming so they can be prepared for it. They do a phenomenal job at picking them up. Even when they might do it a little late, you can tell they're well coached, obviously, because it's Jeff Stoutland. But besides that, even when they do miss a stunt, they try to get their last minute. So you see they know what to do. Just certain things during the play might prevent them from doing it to the way they would like to do it, but you know they still want to because they still try to get to their correct spot even after bad things happen. So they know the adjustments to make. And then lastly, pass pro effort really does matter. Jalen Hurts can sit back there all day if he would like to. I mean, there's some plays last year from 2021, I can almost count to 1,000, and he's still just back there chilling. He has all the time in the world. They give tremendous effort. They don't stop blocking. They'll block and protect them all day. That's very important. A lot of offensive linemen, sometimes they can get lazy. Sometimes they can get lulled to sleep. And it makes you know, quarterback sack. Not with us. We'll stay on our guys. We'll stay on them as long as possible. Philadelphia does a really good job at staying in front of their guys on pass pro. Another big thing that they do that separates them from the bunch is being able to get to the second level. Like I was saying on them double teams, making sure you got your eyes on them backers. Even when it's not double teams, if you just have a straight ISO to the backer or a straight zone step, guy goes away, you clown to the backer. They're really, really good at separating and collapsing that space between them and the backers and getting to them swiftly and bringing power. And most certainly locking on to them. Because the last thing you need to do is for a second level guard or linebacker to slip out the block last minute and make his way inside the play. So they do a phenomenal job at staying in front of them backers, getting on them backers and putting them where they want to, so the back has a good way to cut up off of it and hopefully maybe not get touched to the third level. Them getting on that second level is so important in the run game. It is so important in the run game. It is a difference from a 1-yard gain and a 2-yard gain to an 8-9-yard gain. That is the biggest difference in getting to the second level. A lot of times you'll see tackles and sometimes centers not getting to the linebackers, sometimes guards, depending on alignment, not getting to the linebackers. And when you don't get to the linebackers or you don't get there in time, it can really stuff and muff the play. So you got to make sure you get there to that second level. And Philly does it better than almost any other team in the NFL. This is also their second year playing together for the most part. Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson will be playing beside each other. Isaac Sayamalu, Lane Johnson, and Jason Kelsey all has a strong history of playing for Philadelphia. Those three are actual Super Bowl champions, and all of those contributed in that 2017 year. So I believe them having another year, adding Isaac and taking out Brandon Brooks, who retired, they'll still have terrific chemistry. They'll be a phenomenal offensive line, and I'm sure there's nothing to worry about with them. One last thing that I think they do at a very, very, very high level, they move and they get to the third level at a very, very, very good rate as well. So that means screen game. That means even some pass plays. That means even some run plays that break out. They're trying to get to them safeties. They're trying to get to the DBs out there in open field to cover them up as well. And as an offensive lineman, you know some of them blocks, some last-minute blocks downfield can change a play from a 7 and 8 yard run to a 70 and 80 yard run. Especially, I can show you some times, and I know all of you have seen it, Jason Kelsey out there in the secondary, making blocks, trying to get the ball to go extra 10, 15, 20 yards. Same thing for Mailata, same thing for Lane. A lot of them guys are downfield trying to make blocks. I know Nate Herbert was doing that a lot last year. I'm sure that's a coaching point, but them guys play with extreme effort, getting to the second, not only second, but also third level. And that's a huge, huge difference as well. Some guys just get to the backers. Some guys get to the backers and the safeties as possible. And we do a really good job against the safeties and some of the DBs out there to go ahead and make some of them runs into bigger and longer runs. That's why they had the number one rushing offense last year. So, hey, guys, I just gave you a little short, quick. I try to give you a little in-depth view of why the Philadelphia Eagles will have the best offensive line coming into this 2022 season. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is my first video. Let me know some things you guys think I can improve on. Let me know some teams you would like for me to do breakdowns coming up, some of these games. Let me know some players you would like for me to break down. Let me know some college football players your teams might be drafting that you'd like me to do a breakdown of. Make sure y'all leave them comments for me so I know what to do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. O-line Guru checking out.